Evening. I found a practical use-ish for the HP calculator. It's got lots of practical uses, but this is a good demonstration of a not so practical, but sort of handy, like interesting, I think. Hence why I'm streaming an HP calculator again. I've worked on a program to print a little, kind of like a little information sheet at the upcoming Lower North Island vintage computer meetup, scheduled for Easter 2025. So it's only a couple of days away, and yeah, I thought that I should do something with this to sort of demonstrate part of what it can do, and this is really just a demonstration of what this little calculator can do with the printer here hooked up, and I've got the storage device, tape drive, and it's basically just a demonstration of text, what its text capabilities are. And so basically I've got it to print out a little sheet, which you'll see in a second, and it's not overly, I was going to say not overly trivial, but once you know what you're doing, it's fairly trivial. But it's not like you can just type in a bunch of text and you'll see what I mean. There's a bit more involved than just pumping in some text like you would, even like sort of a basic computer or a computer running basic, it's pretty straightforward to get it to print out text. And so yeah, I thought I'd go through and show you this. I've got the card readers up and running. It's all tested, and hopefully it's going to be reliable. They can be a little bit unreliable. I mean, I've rebuilt 2 of them, and once you rebuild them, they're pretty good. But I thought that, well, first of all, I'll show you what I've done, and then I'll show you how I got there. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to see. Hoping you'll be able to see this okay. So I've made 3 programs, and literally all they do is print text. And so the first program I've made is, if I assign, I think I've assigned it. Yes. Okay. So you can see what I'm doing there is just pressing and holding the key. That's really just so that I can see what's assigned to that key. Because you might just be able to see an enunciator just below the zeros there, and that says user, which is this, related to this key here. And so if I have user key off, you get basically what's printed on the key face, right? So that's 1/x there. If I hold it, if you hold it long enough, it just nulls it, because you might not want to execute the command. So there's square root there. If I hold that, it says square root, and if I hold it long enough, it just says null. You take your finger off and it just resets. So that's a handy way of figuring out what each key is. Change sign. If I hit user here, then what you can do is you can assign programs or functions that are not on the keyboard to these keys, and so pretty handy. So I've actually assigned my print. If you have a look at the name there, it's PR-RCNZ, so I've just called it print RCNZ. And then I've made another one called print links, or PR links, and then I've made another one called PR foot, as in print footer. And so if I've got a printer hooked up, and we're not really using the mass storage device here at this stage, but that I can sort of demonstrate what that's useful for, which I think I've done before, but we'll just go through and have a wee play really. And so if I run PR-RCNZ just by tapping the key instead of holding it, you'll see the printer kick into action there. If everything's all go. It might be a little bit hard to read because of the exposure is basically picking up the dark colours here and sort of overexposing the white paper. So basically we've got, it says at the top there, welcome to the North Island Vintage Computer Show Easter 2025. So this is a little program that I'll have set up on the table, ready for people to come along and have a look and play with and see the machine printing. So special thanks to the organisers, the Vintage Computing Aotearoa, with their URL there, which is vintagecomputing.nz. And then we've got an invite link to the Retro Computing NZ Discord. So there's a link there. And if I want to, I can just hit the footer, which I could just print out the footer. But if I decide that, or if the person requests that they want a printout of the links that I've got stored in here for the likes of some of the members of the group that have Twitch channels and YouTube channels. So if I that's the print links program. I've just given it a pretty arbitrary sort of name, and you can see there it's printing the members sites. So you can see it's got Twitch https://twitch.tv/ and that's because I can't fit the whole URL onto one line. I've just gone / with a ... and then we've got at Carcinomi, at Kiwi Retro Lab, and at the Huck NZ, which is that's the YouTube. The Twitch channels are up here: Carcinomi, Kiwi Retro Lab, Boardband, and myself. And so that's just a little handout for people that might want to have a look at some of our channels. There's also a link there for Carcinomi's Fragged website. So again, because I couldn't fit the URL on one line, there's 24 characters to a line on the printer. And so you can see there I've just done http:// / as in continued on the next line, www.fragged.net.nz. And then depending if people want a little bit, so I can print either one of those. And then if I want to print the footer, which is this one here, PR foot, that's what I've called the program, it's PR foot. If I just tap that, it's going to print the footer. Basically says programmed and printed by the Huck with an HP-41C calculator and HP thermal printer. And that is a little printout that people can get if they come along come along to the show, say hi, have a wee look at the display. There's going to be more to it than just what I've got here, so it's a little bit of a teaser really. I've got more calculators, I've got different types of HP, I've got a few gaming Casios and things like that. So hopefully, if I can fit it all in the bag, it's going on the plane with me over to Wellington on Friday, meet up with the guys, go out for a meal, have some beers, and Saturday morning it's an early start for the show, which is basically open for the members until 1 o'clock when it's open to the public. And so yeah, I didn't really put too much more information on there apart from the fact that that's the Lower North Island Vintage Computer Show. I didn't put the event venue or anything like that. Yeah, so that's basically what these 3 programs done. I've done it in 3 sections, so that's the first section there, and then so that's PR RCNZ, that program there prints that, and then I've got the members sites, which is PR links, print links, and then I've got PR foot, which is print footer, and there's 3 separate programs. Now, to do that on one of these machines is, as I say, it's reasonably trivial if you know what you're doing. It took me a little while to get my head around what I needed to do to achieve it, but once I did the first sort of section at the top there, I had a fair idea of pretty much what I was doing. And but yeah, you'll see that it's not as easy as you think it might be to print stuff. I'll print the program itself. You have to put the program name in. B Z. I think I have to put the program name that I want to print in the alpha. I'm not 100% sure actually. So if I execute PRP, which is short for print program, alpha again, it might prompt for the name, it does. I hit alpha again, and I put in the program name PRRCNZ. And now what the printer's doing is actually printing the program listing. Albeit slowly, but it's a thermal printer, so there's no ink, nothing to worry about. You just need thermal paper and away you go. In fact, I might run out of paper. I've got plenty of other rolls, but we'll be loading it up later if it does. So this code is literally just to print the first chunk. I'll run quickly through part of the listing just to give you an idea of what's happening and you know, what's going on with the syntax, and then maybe a quick demonstration of what's required to actually, you know, carry this out. Practically, we can do something practical just to show you the limitations, and Yeah, so we're starting to run out of paper there. Let's get some more. The genuine HP paper prints in blue. I'm just looking at the part number on this. Sorry, I've got fixed focus, so yeah, there's a part number stamped on the end of the roll here, which would indicate to me that it's a genuine HP part number. But yeah, whether it prints in blue or not, I don't know. Soon find out. But we've got a bit of a pink stripe down the roll there, which is indicating that. But okay, so if we have a look at this roughly, so we've got 141 lines of code. So this is the end of the code here. All of this, all of that there, to print that. There's reasons for that. The first thing you'll notice is the welcome is actually a larger font as such. It's what's called double size, I think they call it. So, sorry, the light's probably blowing it out a bit. If I bring something else on, that's going to even up that white balance a bit. You can see there that welcome is a larger font as such, and there's two sizes. You've got normal, which is, you can see there, to the Lower North Island Vintage Computer Show Easter 2025. That's all in the standard font size. This is basically a double size font. It's double the width, they call it double width. Double the width but same height. There is a limitation to the line height. You've got uppercase and lowercase characters. And so you can see here Vintage Computing Aotearoa, that's in the larger font there, and the rest of it is in just the smaller font. So the reason there's so many instructions is because, first of all, we have to set a flag to say I want to print in the large font, and then I have to set another flag to say I want a capital. Actually, no, the default's capitals. So we've got a flag to say we want the wide font, and then we store the W in the print buffer, and I'll tell you why that is. Well, we don't have to for this line, but for some of the subsequent lines we do. There's a reason. There's a limit to the line width, and so I'll get to that. I'll get to that in more detail in a second. So we've got a capital there, right? And so you add the W, the capital W, and the wide font to the print buffer, and then yeah, you can't just print this line holus bolus. Like, you can't just print the welcome, because if you go into the alpha, you know, like if I go in and into the alpha here, and I just type in the word welcome, for instance, and if I just come out of alpha and I execute PRA, which is print A register, it will print welcome. It's printed welcome, but it's printed it in the small typeface, or the standard default, let's call it the default typeface, and it's also all caps, right? And the alpha register, there's no way to choose caps within the register or on the calculator itself. It's always typed in caps here. And depending on how the flag's set, so if the flag is set, so it's flag 13, if flag 13 is off, it's going to type in capitals as default. If you set flag 13 on, it will type in lowercase. So if we come in, and so you can see that there's going to be an issue there. If I just type in welcome and try and print it, we're going to get either all uppercase or all lowercase. And you can see on this line here, this first line, that we've got an uppercase W and the rest is lowercase. So what you have to do is you have to set the calculator to the wide font, and the default is the uppercase. So you just type a W in the alpha register and you add that to the printer queue as such. I did say it before, I've just lost it. Accumulator, they call it an accumulator. So you've got a capital W wide space in the accumulator, and then you have to set the flag again to lowercase, which is set flag number 13, and that sets it to the lowercase. And then you can go back into the alpha register. I'll demonstrate this. Then you can go back into the alpha register, and then you can say ELCOME, as in all in lowercase. You've still got the flag 12, which is for the width setting, still set, but now you've set to lowercase and set flag 13, and you just want the remainder of the word, and then you add that to the accumulator. So you've got the entire word in the accumulator, and then you run a command called print. What is the official command? Print buff, PRBUF, and you'll see it in this listing quite often. So here's an example of what we've got. And the print buffer will basically just print what's in the buffer out to the printer, and will clear the print buffer. And so you can see here we've got the label of the program, so that's like the program name, which is PRRCNZ. Set flag 12, which says basically just I want to print in wide. And then, sorry, it's probably not that easy to read. And then I've gone into the alpha register and I've put in a W there. I've got a preceding space there just to sort of centralize the welcome slightly. And then ACA is accumulate character, I think it is, stands for. Just double check that. The printer output. Yeah, accumulate alpha. ACA. That's what that stands for. So we've got W in the accumulator, and then set flag 13 sets the computer to lowercase, and then you can see the ELCOME there. It's in the alpha register, and then accumulate alpha again, and then I've cleared the flag 12, which means puts it back to uppercase. Is that right? No, sorry. Clear flag 12 is setting to normal print, not wide. And then I've got, go back to alpha, and you've got some leading spaces there, and to the, so that's this line here, welcome to the. And the reason I did that is just for readability. And then next line is Lower North Island, but we've got capitalisation at the start of each word. And so I've, accumulated that. I've printed the buffer, which is welcome. Cleared the flag to make it lowercase, and then I've put in stored it in the accumulator, and then print buffer. In fact, I could probably do that with one command, because there's no change of case and there's no change of width. I could probably just do a PRA, which is print alpha. So I could probably slightly improve this program by taking these two lines here out and just putting a PRA in there, print alpha, and then clear flag 13 means go back to capitals. Then in the alpha register I've got a few leading spaces and an L, and then I store that in the accumulator, ACA, set the flag to 13, which means go to lowercase, and then I've got in the alpha register OWER, so it's an LOWER. Accumulate that, set the flag, so we've got lower in the accumulator, set the flag, clear the flag 13, which goes back to caps, and then capital N in the alpha, accumulate that, set the flag to lowercase, ORTH to make the word north, accumulate that, set the flag to capitals again, go into alpha, put a leading space there just for the space in between the two words, capital I, accumulate that, set the flag to lowercase, SLAND, accumulate that, print the buffer, and you've got another line there, which is Lower North Island. Yeah, I tested just a couple of lines to make sure it was working, and once I figured out what I needed to do, it was pretty straightforward. Quite tedious. It's not like you can just go to a keyboard and start typing, like you could on a Spectrum. You just type print, print, and then type the whole thing out, close quotes, and hit enter. So pretty much rinse and repeat the whole way to get this printout here. So yeah, I worked for a bit on this earlier this evening. So we've got that, and so you can see why, to get this entire, it's 3 programs, one section there, another program there, and another. The reason I broke into 3 programs was because maybe people wouldn't want this members sites here. Maybe they just want this bit with the footer, or if someone's happy to stand there and watch it print out, do this bit, that bit, and the footer. So I broke it up to 3 programs. But yeah, that was just a thought I had to, just so I can show people the printer in action, pretty much. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So with the calculator, you can So if we go to the program mode, we're actually at line number 141, which is the end of the program. It's where the execution stopped. Down here at 141. It's got the end command. And so it's a lot easier if you've got the printer, because you can print the listing, get a rough idea of where the line number is that you need to adjust. But for instance, you know, maybe if I wanted to edit this line here, which is, for instance, if I wanted to edit, let's say special thanks there, which is line 65. I've got a leading space there, but let's say I didn't want the leading space. I can literally jump to line number 65. I go to full stop 065, and there's the line there. Okay, so I can just backspace to delete it. You can't go in and use a cursor to move around that line. You basically, you have to delete it and recreate it. But there's a limited number of characters you can put on a line. So that's another complicating factor, is if you've got a line, let's choose one that's quite long. It's code here. Yeah. So I've got a line here that prints out got a line here, and anything you see on here, Mev, that's not right, that you can see, just let me know. I think this is all good, but I've got a line there. It says a special thanks to the on one line. Now, if we have a look at the actual program, is it? Yeah, so here's an example of when you're sort of dealing with a line that's a little bit longer. We've got line number 62 there. You can see it's an A with a leading space. So we've got, in the alpha register, we've got space A. And by the way, cleared flag 13, so it's capital. Leading space A, and then that's gone into the accumulator in the next line, line 63. Line 64, set the flag to 13, so it's lowercase. And then you can see I've got leading space, special space, thanks. There's this line here we're working with here. It's capital A, space, special space, thanks. And so it's taken how many lines of code to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of code, and then we've still got to the to come in. You can't put special thanks to the, it won't fit into the number of characters per line. The maximum number of characters per line is 24, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So yeah, probably could have done that in one line. Sure why I did that in 2 lines. Oh, no. Hang on a sec. Might have been right on the limit for that one, but I may have actually been able to put that same line. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there's a limit to how many characters you can type into the alpha register. So probably what's happened is we've hit the limit of the alpha register input, and then so you kind of have to accumulate it into the print buffer. Then you do the rest of the line and then accumulate that into the print buffer. And the maximum print buffer is 24 characters. So the alpha register must be fewer available characters, and we can test that theory. So go to ... is basically like pack the program down. It's kind of like defragging it in a way, putting an end statement. If it doesn't already have an end, it puts an end statement on the end of the program. To change this paper, this paper I bought at OPD, Office Products Depot, and when I put in the request, I asked them if I could get paper that would print blue, and because they are younger people and have never dealt with thermal printers, they just said to me, oh, well, it depends on the ink that you've got in your printer. It's like, it's a thermal printer. I just want paper that's got the blue thermal capabilities. And they were just like, no, you've got to have the right color ink. It's like banging my head against a wall. Yeah, it's not quite a compile. It's actually it doesn't get compiled as such. It's more like an interpretive language. I guess internally it possibly will get, it's sort of almost like a cross between BASIC and machine code. It's kind of you've got instant commands, like I could execute those commands basically from the command line, if you know what I mean, from the calculator. But just the way the calculator works is almost like working in machine code in a way. You've got registers and you can manipulate registers and set flags and things like that. That's just that's the paper advance button. Yeah. And you'll see there's a few paper advance commands in the code as well. That's really just basically printing a line. Line, that's what I mean. So, I mean, you can print. There's also a print button on the printer as well, which will print basically what's on the screen. So I've got 64 dot or decimal 0000. If I hit print, it'll actually print 64. Except that's not printing at all. Yeah. So that's printing the X register. If I go to alpha and hit print, it's printing welcome on the printer here. So the printer receives commands from the calculator, but the printer can send commands to the calculator as well. So if we go, for instance, if we go back to the program, so if we just go to dot program name, which is PRRCNZ, except I'm still in program mode. Oh, I didn't go to alpha, so I cocked up there, have I? No, that's all good. Go to dot alpha PRRCNZ will take us to the start of the program. And you can single step with the SST button here, single step, which basically shift. Single step is BST, which is back step. But you'll see I've got quite a few. That's clear. So right at the end of the program is a clear flag 13, which sets the calculator back to its default uppercase. If I go back again is ADV, and I've got several ADVs because right at that's advanced paper. Because at the end I want the tear off to come up past the little window here, the tear off window. So I'll do advances to bring it up. And so there's several advances here. But what you can do, if we just step through, let's say I wanted to put an advance after the label here. So the first command is set flag 12, which is the wide printing. But if I go back one step to the label, it's instruction 1. It's basically the program name. And if I hit advance paper on the actual printer, you'll see it'll add an ADV command to the calculator. It's quite handy, so you don't have to. You don't have to go next line execute alpha ADV. So we'll have 2 advanced commands there. So it's just a nice shortcut. How are you going, Xeon? So I want to clear those 2 advanced commands out. Just backspace. Back program. Well, that's good. Oh, I'm good, thanks. Yeah. Be better tomorrow for a couple of reasons. One is it's the end of the week. 3 reasons. The second reason is it's my birthday. And the third reason is we're going to the pub for a meal. So yeah, looking forward to it. Cheers. Yeah, combo, alright. And then the next day, fly to Alley, catch up with the boys, meet the boys in person for the first time. Be in tow with this collection here. So if we want to maybe print something else, right, just to show you what's involved. I mean, you can see there from the listing what's involved in doing this, but I can show you it in action. Let's see how many characters we can get into the alpha register. Oh yeah, yeah. Day apart. So if we want to start a new program, we just hit the program button and start by giving it a label. Call it go alpha, so we can give it a name. I don't know, just call it ABC, because I'm just going to look at how much we can fit into the alpha register. So yeah, if we go alpha B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, so we get up to O and you can't put any more in. And we can print that directly to the printer when the program's running using execute alpha print the A register, PRA, prints the A register. And that's the end of the program, right? Basically, at this stage. And if I want to run it, we come out of program mode and we go execute alpha ABC. And it's printed that, but it hasn't filled the line. You can see it hasn't, so there's 24 characters across the line. Right, so we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. It's 15 characters. So you can pump 15 characters into the alpha register. That's it. So it makes it impossible to just print the alpha register and fill a line. And I can demonstrate that. Let's say you wanted to go back to the program. There's the alpha register right up to the letter O. And if I want to add another line and carry on from O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, that, which is not filling the alpha register, but it gives you an idea that we can't just concatenate those two. We could probably use the append function, actually. So go back, delete that line, go to alpha, and we do Shift K. It's append. It's like a little 90-degree lying down T. That's append. So it will append to the alpha register O P Q R S T U V W X. And so that will overflow the 24 character limit, won't it? Okay, there, step through, it's going to be print A. So append will work fine. And we go execute ABC. Oh yeah, it has, yeah, so effectively it's cut it's dropped the AB. So although I've appended you know, from P onwards onto ABC through O, because effectively it's basically just pushed the AB off the stack, if you like. It's just lost, it's gone. So what you have to do is you have to accumulate those. Go to here. So we've got ABC through here, appended, and lost some characters. So if I take that out, if I now run the command or insert the command execute ACA, which is accumulate alpha, it would accumulate A through O into the print buffer in the printer itself, not the calculator. Well, the print buffer might be in the calculator, but I suspect it might even be in the printer itself. I'm not 100% sure. And then we don't need the print A because we can't. So print A will just print what's in the alpha register. So we just go back to there, and then we want to append. We don't need to use the append because we're accumulating to the print buffer. And so go to alpha, P Q R S T U V W X Y Z. Come out of alpha, and then accumulate that as well, ACA, and that concatenates basically the two strings into the print buffer. And then you execute PRBUF, which is print buffer, and that should work. Program, no, go out of program, execute ABC, and you'll see there that we haven't lost any characters. It's overflowed the line, but that's fine. It just wraps around, character return, new line, and so we've got the entire alphabet there. So that's the reason for using the accumulate to the print buffer, accumulate alpha. You can do it with the X register as well, so you can pop numbers in there and things like that. So and you of course you can't just use a print alpha when you've got a mixture of uppercase and lowercase. For instance, let's say for instance I wanted to put a lowercase b in this string. instead of having a capital B. It means we're going to have to pretty much rewrite that whole line. So we've got the line there, but we're going to have to take that out. So backspace, delete that line, put in a new one. So the default is uppercase, so we don't have to set a flag. And so first letter is A. And you can't just go, I want capital A, now I want lowercase b. You can't do it. Everything displayed here is in caps. Internally, it depends what the flag's set to. And you can't set the flag here. You have to, it has to be a command in the program. So what we have to do is we have to go put in A because it's going to be capitalized. Add it to the accumulator. Then we have to set flag 13, which tells the computer to now print in lowercase. Go back to alpha, put in the B that we want to be lowercase. Come out of alpha, store it in the accumulator, execute ACA, do that. Then we want to go back to caps, so we clear flag 13, alpha, do pick up from C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. We could put more letters in here, I think 2 more, because we've accumulated A, we've accumulated B, so it's actually left room for more characters. So you could do PQ, but then the next line's going to repeat PQ, but we can change that. PQ. Go to the next, store it. And we've got PQ already, so we don't need PQ, so delete that line and we go RSTUVWXYZ. Oh, except I'm not an alpha. PQ RSTUVWXYZ. Accumulate that, print it, and it will be basically the same result, except we'll have a lowercase b. Don't seem to get a content strike on this Cure song. I'm surprised about that. And so you can see what a capital A, small b, and then the rest caps. So each time you change capitalization, or case I should say, you have to accumulate that as a separate character. I mean, if we wanted ABC as the lowercase, you could do that. So you'd have to set lowercase, put ABC into the alpha register, print it, accumulate it, and then set case to uppercase, and then put in the remainder of your letters that you want to print in uppercase and accumulate that and then print it. So it's not a straightforward task to come up with something like this here as such. It takes a bit of time, and especially because each time you want to change from wide to standard printing, you've got to also deal with it in a similar way that you would changing from uppercase to lowercase. And so that's what I worked on this afternoon. Late this afternoon after work, I sat down and plotted away with this. So that's for the show. Now I think I've shown the tape drive, so I've actually saved the 3 print files to the tape. But what I can also do is show you the card reader, which I haven't shown you yet. So we can actually, well, just get a printout of the programs that are on this. Catalog 1. Cat 1 gives you a printout of all the programs that are in the memory. So we've got PR links, which is the printout of the websites, PR foot, which is the print footer, and PR RCNZ, which is basically the welcome to the Lower North Island Vintage Computer Show Easter. That's that section there, and then that's the PR links, and that's the PR foot down here, and that's these programs here. We've got another one called Hex, which is just a hex to decimal converter, and we've got that ABC program here. So can save the ABC program to a card with the card reader. Actually, we can save it to the tape first if we want to. So we go to the alpha register and we put in the program name, which is ABC. The syntax for that to write it to the tape is W execute alpha WRTP, which is write program, and you'll see the tape drive seeking for a blank space and updating the table of contents as such, and writing the program, and then verifying and things like that. So can't hear it because I've got noise cancellation on. Should take noise cancellation off so you can hear it. Okay. some gain on there. I just need to be careful about how much I put on. Is it? I'm just wondering if it's doing it in real time. That should be about right. Let's see. Actually, I'm not sure Hex is loaded or saved. I've just got a program here called Hex that we'll try and save if it's not already. WRTP. You'll get a bit of an idea of the sound of this lovely tape drive. Nope, no belt swap required. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, it's definitely quality for sure. I've got two of these and they work perfectly. I've not had to touch them, not had to do a bloody thing to them. Digital, I wonder, there is a little hole. I wonder if it's not digital because it's got a little hole that a sensor looks through for start of tape positioning. I think there might be two of them, so that would probably indicate that it's not, you know, like a full-on digital, right? Because a full-on digital would use like a separate track, wouldn't it, to count or keep track of where the tape is. I'm not quite sure how it does it, but sounds pretty cool. So I've stored Hex there. So if I want to put the printer into trace mode, get more feedback, getting slightly sidetracked, but that's all right. I'll show you the card reader in a sec. I'll put it into trace mode and I run execute dir. It's doing a directory on the tape and it's printing each program as it finds it on the tape. No, it's just the exposure of the camera. It's totally readable in reality. It's just because of all this dark here. If I bring this across, you'll see it. It will expose a bit better. It's quite readable. I could I could underexpose the camera, I guess, but then it might not pick this up properly, I don't know. But yeah, and so that's a full listing of all the programs that are on that tape. And so pretty handy, because the calculator's got a, obviously it's got a limited amount of storage internally in its memory. We've got, if I cat 1 here, that is cataloguing the programs that are stored on the calculator itself. And we've got, if we go to program, we've got 134 registers free. Now, one of these programs, I think it's, yeah, the RCNZ, the print RCNZ, is 72 registers. So it would, if I put RCNZ in again, it would use half of the remaining memory in this. So, it's limited. But so not only do you have the mass storage as somewhere to store stuff, but there is extra storage in the calculator itself. So the default, you've got to bear in mind there's 3 different models of these as well. This is the 41C. That's the very first model to be released. There's the CV and the CX. They have more memory internally, but luckily for the early adopters is you could buy memory modules. And this has got quad memory. So basically this is tricked out. This is basically a CV because of this here and the extended functions and the extended memory here. It's basically a CV, except it doesn't have the time module. I don't own a time module. Somehow I ended up with a manual for one, but I don't have the module itself. And if I had the time module in there, that would be fully CV compatible, like it'd be the same as a CV. I've got a CV, but I wonder what happened. I sort of wonder whether the time module just got left in a calculator somewhere and it's just gone with another calculator. I don't know. But the thing with the CV is that you don't need to populate these here with modules. Like if I had the time module, this would be fully populated. I wouldn't have any room to put the card reader, and I wouldn't have any room to install the interface loop for running the printer and the mass storage device. And so that's the good thing about the CV, is that all of this becomes internal, including the time module, which I don't have. And then it frees up the 4 slots, so you can use the card reader and the interface loop at the same time, and you can put in other packs, like this navigation and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty full on. And so because I've got the extended functions there, this X functions and the X memory, the quad memory basically extends the RAM how much memory do we have? Programs basic. Okay, so the allocation is, you've got 60, yeah, 63 registers, and the initial allocation is 17 data storage registers and 46 registers in program memory. And so there's a partition between them, but that partition's movable. And so you could do something like this here. Alright, so this is your standard default setting here is data storage registers 17, program memory 46, but you can change the partition by executing a size command, so you can have more data registers but fewer program registers. So it really depends what you want to achieve. It's good to hear that you're enjoying the change of music. I just thought the other one was just getting a bit repetitive, wasn't it? Yeah, seems to be pretty good. So you've got that, but then if you've got the quad, see that comes with, this particular one's got the quad memory here, and what that does is it replaces 4 memory modules. So you can buy memory modules. I've got some, I'll bring them with me, and you could have 1, 2, 3, 4 memory modules in here to max out the memory. But that means you can't put in the extra functions here, and you can't have the extra memory. It's 2 different types of, this is the memory modules I'm talking about here, like so the quad memory and the single memory ones, just forget about X memory. They are directly accessible to the programs in the calculator itself, and so you can instead of having 4 individuals, you can get this quad memory pack, or you could. you used to be able to get them. Oh God, I don't know, they're getting few and far between. So that takes the place of 4 individuals, and that maxes the memory, the directly accessible memory. And then if you get the extra functions pack with extra memory modules, you can have what's called extended memory, but that's not directly available to the calculator programs, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm really getting sidetracked now. And so we've got extended memory, which you can get a directory of that by executing extended EM, extended memory dir directory. And so we'll get a printout of all of the extended memory, the programs that are stored in the extended memory. There's not that many. Right. So I've got my printing programs plus that little hex to decimal converter program. So if I wanted to store the ABC program, let's say I was running out of memory and I wanted to free some memory up by transferring the ABC program into extended memory to free up this main memory. So you can see there I've got 134 registers. Let's say I had a program that took up 136, and so I just need that 2 extra registers, and we've got the ABC program in there that, okay, I don't really want to use right now, but I want to keep it for later. I can obviously save it to the mass storage device, but not everyone had the mass storage device either. And so if you had the extended memory, you could transfer the program. So if we just, I think I'll put the program name in here, ABC, and then execute. It's not write program, it's save P. Save P. Save program. So we'll copy the program from main memory to extended memory. Done. And then if I execute CLP, which is a clear program, CLP alpha ABC, alpha ABC. So that's clearing the ABC program from the main memory. Okay, and we should have some extra registers. 141. Okay, so and now if I do a DIR, I'll trace that. EM DIR. You'll see now that we've got ABC after the hex. So we had hex here, it's the last program, but now we've got hex ABC. And so if I try and execute ABC now, I should say non-existent. Yeah. So it's not there, right? So if I want to retrieve ABC, so there, execute alpha, I think it's just read P. No, that's going to read it from the tape. It's going to restore it from the tape. Read P. Can't remember the woman. Where's my manual? Consult the Book of Armaments. What have we got? These manuals are awesome. This is a big, like, full A4 job, or probably being American, I'd say letter. That's actually not the manual I'm looking for though. You've also got these little reference cards as well. Extended memory functions, save P,
let's track it.
EMDIR, get P replaces the last note, get X, purge, save as, save P, hang on, what's this? Extended functions. Get P. Oh, it is get P. Get P. P. Replaces the last program in main memory with the contents of program file named in the alpha register. You just need to read it properly. Get P. So I have to make sure that I'm right at the end of program memory. Do I now have ABC in here again? Because I saved it to the tape, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So I just need to delete ABC again. Execute CLP ABC. Done. Make sure we've packed. So if I execute ABC now, it should say non-existent. And then if I want to retrieve it from the extended memory and that's sitting in the calculator but not accessible, obviously, I've just tried. Alpha is ABC, is execute get P, G-E-T-P. Done. And so now I should be able to execute ABC. Yeah. So you can see that it's not directly accessible, and you can just, it's kind of like saving it off to a floppy drive almost, or something, you know, in a way, I guess you could think of it like that. Although the tape drive's probably more like that. So let's say I want to save ABC. Card. Do have to disconnect the interface loop with this here though, this card reader in. Turns it into a paste. And then if I want to save ABC, I just have to go to the ABC program. Sure that's in the starter memory. So that's the first line, is the label command, and then I just insert the card. So now the ABC program is stored on this card here. So if I clear C again, execute ABC, you'll see it's not there. Just feed the card in again. Card. So get the odd bad card. I've got a pack of blanks here. Let's get the odd bad one. Necessarily be dodgy media. This can be a little flaky. Probably not when they were brand new. course, getting tired. To save, I need to resave to one of these cards. Oh. Let's try that again. I think there's a verify function, but I'm not 100% sure. Yep, they're magnetic. Yeah, it's just like a little magnetized surface on the back. It's some special HP media, specially designed for these. I had this problem before where it says the program's not existent, even though there's no error retrieving it from extended memory. It says it's there. Yeah, it just says non-existent. Execute. I'll just try clearing it again. Must be getting part of it because it's getting the first line. Let's try that again. Get P. It doesn't error. So look at the program. There's a. Oh yes, because the printer's not plugged in. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I've got printer commands in there, and of course I don't have the interface loop plugged in. That explains it. So I should be able to save that now. Whoops. Alpha ABC card in. Here's a program. Just load. It now has the ABC program on it. We can store that there if we want to. Cool. retrieved from card reader. Got the print RCNZ takes 5 sides, so these have got 2 sides. Basically, you just flip them. It's got one there with an arrow pointing left, and if you flip it that way, it's got a 2 pointing left there. Got a little line there, little dotted line where you can physically snip that off to write protect. You can also write protect programs in the external memory as well. It's, I should say, extended memory. And you can store more than just programs. You can store data and things like that. So if you're actually collecting data, you can store it. Pretty handy. What else I can show you? I've got an RS-232. I've got 2 of them actually. RS-232 interface loop adapters. I haven't really had any play with those. You can actually hook up like 2 storage devices, and I've done this before. You put 2 of these on the same loop, and you can copy programs from one to the other. You can copy entire tapes if you want to, from one to another, like do tape backup. It's pretty cool. You can have more than one printer. I think you can even have more than one calculator and transfer programs between them. I think you can do that. But you can have different printers. I've got there's that multimeter just there, this one. That is interface loop as well, so I can plug that multimeter into this calculator and monitor it, take readings from it, set thresholds, things like that. It's pretty cool. I had no idea as a kid that all of this stuff existed. All I had as a kid was, well, all Dad had, was this calculator itself, this here. And a friend of the family actually had one of these, and he had the card reader. I remember he had the card reader, and I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And so, yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably, I was just going to do a quick stream tonight, showing you what was involved in putting together that program for the printout. I can show you the procedure for loading more than one card if it spans multiple cards. So if we just put the card reader back in, by clear program Z, that's a just program. Side 1, side 2. It says ready for side 2 of 5, so there's 5 sides. For side 3. There are foot, hex, ABC, and PR. So yeah, just like that. So there's several different places that you can store programs. So I had a lot of fun. So print out this evening, getting that sorted. You can do things like you could get it to prompt for a person's name, and then they type in their name, and then you hit run stop, and it carries on, and it can, it basically stores the name in a register. You could sort of think of it like a variable, and then just recall that variable wherever you want to place their name, in the printout. That could be a little addition that I put in, maybe hi, such and such. Could do that. Yeah, and obviously there's like mathematical calculations up the wazoo you can do with these things, and it's all fully programmable, of course. And, yeah, so that's what I've been playing around with. And so Friday morning I'll be spending a bit of time packing these precious devices into a suitcase that's going to go in the aircraft. I've taken a suitcase with me, carry on. Just have to make sure that I don't go over the weight limit, and that I don't use up too much room in the briefcase, in the suitcase, that I can't fit anything else in it. I've got a bunch of stuff to go in, and it is possible that I might have to leave something behind, but we'll just see how it goes. But that's the plan. Start on that maybe tomorrow later on in the day, and see how we go. Taking manuals over as well, so the weight's potentially going to get up there. I think it's about 20 kg is the limit. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, well, I think Cassie might have a couple of bits and pieces for me, so I just have to be a bit aware of that. Or if worst comes to worst, I can maybe just get Mev to post it back for me. We'll see how we go. Try and leave a little bit of room. Oh, well, I might leave it at that. Thanks guys for hanging out. Thanks for watching. See what Casanomi's up to with his Amiga 600 for that. Yes, guys. Catch you probably not tomorrow night. Probably Saturday. Maybe Sunday. See how we go. Catch you later. Cheers, Sion. See you, mate.